Mick is one of the developers at Bitovi, and he has some DevOps philosophy questions to contemplate today.
Sweet. So there you go. That's the question. What is DevOps? There are a lot of definitions for DevOps. And probably if you ask 10 different people what is DevOps, you're very likely to get more than 10 answers. And that's because DevOps is a very big, broad concept. It covers a lot of different topics and areas of expertise. So it might have a different definition depending on what area you're looking at it from. So let's take a look at a few definitions and see if we can wrangle in an understanding of what this thing is. So DevOps defined here requires establishing cross-functional teams that integrate and work together to solve business needs. By doing so, DevOps increases efficiency and delivers faster. Okay, well, by that definition, that sounds a bit like project management, which is defined here as the application of processes, methods, knowledge, skills, and experience to achieve the project objectives. Okay, so DevOps is project management. Maybe. Let's take another one. DevOps defined here as a software development method which focuses on communication, integration, and collaboration among IT professionals to enable rapid deployment of products. Okay, by that definition, it sounds like another methodology I'm sure we're all very familiar with, Agile, which is defined here as an iterative development methodology that values human communication and feedback, adapting to changes, and producing working results. So that's a bit similar there. So DevOps then, okay, DevOps is Agile. Let's do one more. DevOps defined here as a set of practices that automates the processes between software development and IT teams in order that they can build, test, and release software faster and more reliably. By that definition, that sounds quite a bit like just continuous delivery, which is defined here as a practice or set of principles that teams follow to deliver software safely, quickly, and in a sustainable manner. So then, all right, well, DevOps is continuous delivery. By this point, you could probably see where I'm going with this. I could dance around the issue probably all day with all sorts of different definitions, but instead I will take the advice of a very wise man who said, when there's an elephant in the room, introduce him. So DevOps is an elephant? DevOps is not an elephant. DevOps is definitely not a literal elephant. And in this case, I would say it's not even a figurative one. So in this somewhat ridiculous example, I would say that the elephant probably represents what many refer to as the DevOps tool chain, which is a very valuable part of DevOps, to be sure, but a solid DevOps tool chain does not good DevOps make, which begs the question again, what is DevOps? So I will now postulate, propose, suggest, claim, venture, state, make a motion to say even that DevOps in this example is a contract agreed to, whether socially, verbally, in ink or in code, is agreed to by these ladies and gentlemen to set out with their various skills and expertise to try to understand what this big thing is in their neighbor's yard. And they have all agreed to come back and discuss what they have found. It's got a tusk, it's got a big foot, a broad side. They're going to discuss these things and try to come to an understanding of what this thing is. It is that agreement, that collaboration mentality that they take to set out. In addition to that, I would say that DevOps also includes the fact that all of them now know that this guy way over here on the left has something that they can use to listen. He's got a stethoscope. That's a tool that they can all use in their various deeds and investigations if somebody needs to listen to something for some reason. And they all know that he's got this tool, and they know to go and talk to him. Maybe there's a bulletin board or something. So there you go. There's a somewhat absurd definition for DevOps to toss onto the pile of many, many definitions of DevOps. It's not an elephant. So yeah, if you want to talk about it more, we'll have breakout rooms after this. And also we have a Bitovi community Slack DevOps channel. You can reach out and ask questions and glean more information about this elephant thing, this not elephant thing. That's it.
Sweet. Thank you, Mick. Does anyone have, like he said, we'll have the breakout rooms and we'll have a DevOps focused breakout room. Anyone have a question for Mick before we go? Nope. Cool.
If DevOps was an elephant, what would be its trunk?
If DevOps was an elephant, what would be its trunk? Let's see. I don't know. So DevOps, the elephant's trunk would be a component of DevOps, and the trunk for an elephant is a quite prominent piece of it. So the trunk might be the thing that enables it to do things, which I, again, would probably say is the communication or collaboration piece that, you know, if we were to shift the analogy to DevOps being the elephant itself, I would say the trunk is the most valuable part, potentially, or the most prominent knowing part, which for DevOps would be communication, I think.
Justin, I thought you were setting up a trunk joke about like Git or SVN or.
No, I wasn't clever enough for that.
Jason, steps ahead of the rest. I'm not convinced on that response though, Justin. I'll have to think about it more. I'm not convinced that the trunk is like the epitome of what an elephant is, because they're also smart and have you know, great memories and large bodies and such. So. More analysis required.
Yeah, good contemplation for the breakout room afterwards.